From the banner of Stockton, I bring you word from the battlefield. Providing you with weekly game previews, game recaps, and even interviews with your favorite players and coaches, this is the Crusaders Dispatch Podcast. As always, I am your faithful messenger, Rod Villagomez. Welcome in, everybody, to the first episode of the Crusaders Dispatch, the show all about the Stockton Crusaders of the Arena Football 1 League. We are super excited. Football is back in Stockton, ladies and gentlemen. It's an exciting time for Stockton sports in general, right? I mean, we've already got the Ports that have been the long-standing baseball team in the city. We have our soccer team, the Cargo. We have now the football team. We have hockey back. Stockton Thunder is back. There is a resurgence of sports in Stockton, and football is among those. And so we'll talk a lot about everything, right? This is obviously the first episode, so we're all just getting our feet wet as we all reintroduce Stockton back to the football scene. And, of course, the arena football scene, which we have been a part of already, and we will continue to carry on that legacy with the Stockton Crusaders. But you know, there's been a lot of talk over the course of the last few press conferences where we're talking about honoring the tradition of Stockton sports and bringing back what Stockton holds dear in its sports teams. And, you know, between hockey now coming back to the Thunder, trying to pay homage to our Stockton Thunder that went away. And now the football team, I mean, UOP, when Pacific's football team went away, that kind of left a hole in the heart of the world of football for us, right? That was one of the major football outlets for the city. And then, of course, the Stockton Lightning came in and filled that void for a couple of seasons, and then they went away as the whole team folded. But Stockton really is a football town as well. I know there's a lot of folks, high school football may not be as big here as it is in Texas, but it's definitely big, right? St. Mary's, Lincoln, West, all of these teams that compete in the football arena here. It's just, you know, we were really missing that football outlet. And what better way to bring it back than to have an arena football team come into the city? And so in come the Stockton Crusaders, right? They are bringing the arena brand of football into the city, and we'll explain a little bit about what all that means if you're brand new to arena football, if you're brand new to the style of it, if you've never got a chance to watch the Lightning, or if you just never had a chance to actually witness arena football. I know a lot of people kind of think of it as not necessarily the same, and obviously it's not the same as the outdoor version as far as the scope and the depth and everything that happens there, but there's still football, and it's still football being played at a very high level. The players that play this game, especially the Arena League, they're not cheap knockoffs. They're literally football players that have played in the NFL, in the CFL, in the UFL. Like, they've played even in arena leagues all over the world, right? They've played in Germany, they played in Japan. Like, they've played football, and this is not something that you should go into it thinking, well, this is just a bunch of guys who are in a beer league going out there and playing football, because it's not. A lot of these guys actually do get an opportunity to go up to the NFL, to the CFL, to all of these other leagues that are out there, and some of them are starting right now in the UFL. So we'll talk a little bit about that more, but again, this is just an exciting time for Stockton. It's an exciting time as the team made the formal announcement a couple of days ago now. And I mean, again, the ownership team is excited. Everybody's excited. I actually will not put words in their mouth. We are going to watch and listen to some of the sights and sounds from the formal announcement, from the press conference that they held. And we'll do that right now. We'll start with actually the president, Scott McKibben, who gave his words at the press conference.
The last time I went to a press conference with this magnitude of people, John Gruden was coming back to the Raiders. As Jason said, this has been a long time coming, and I appreciate everything that Jason and his staff, Mayor, I've talked to people on your sports commission, and everybody returns a call. They're on top of it. It's always, when are you coming? I'd also like to introduce three people from our organization that have helped us do this, who aren't up here today, but they are here in the crowd. One is Tim Vest and his wife, Carolyn. Tim is one of our lead investors in our ownership group. Paul Hewitt, our Vice President for Football Operations. This is the guy that makes sure the trains run on time. And Lizzie Zappapasta, who's our chief, I call her the Chief Financial Officer. At the end of the day, we have to spend less than we bring in, and that's her job. How we got here. For a long time, we always thought that this was a great market for arena football. There was an AF2 team here many years ago, and it drew well. It's a football town. Speaking of UOP, if you go back and look at the tree of coaches that were with or associated with the NFL that came through UOP, it sounds like the Hall of Fame. And so we looked at this and said, I need to talk to Jason and chat a little bit about what's the possibilities of an arena coming together on a deal. Jason has been straightforward, has been cooperative, as can possibly be imagined on helping us get here. I tell our guys when we look at these things, the most important thing that we need to have to get a team into a market, you gotta have a place to play. And we have that here. We're very, very comfortable with the city of Stockton. We love the business model with the league. The league currently has 9 teams. We will be an expansion team. We play on national television. There's a game of the week that's played every week, and then there are regional games that are played. Our players will be engaged much in the community. We are here to be part of the moral fabric of this community. We are concerned about youth. We're concerned about education. We're concerned about our players who are able to reach their particular goals that go beyond football. This is an aspirational league. And when I say it's an aspirational league, what I mean by that is there's predominantly 2 roads and paths that players that play in this league come down. One is the guy who wants to make it to the NFL. He's got to get snaps, he's got to have plays, he's got to get here. We give him a road. Then there's another group that either through injury or perhaps they made it to the NFL, they got cut the last cut, they love this game so passionately they want to continue to play football. We give them an avenue in which to do that. And so that's the basic makeup of the league and the players. Our players, unlike other leagues, part of their compensation package and their contract with us, we house them, we provide them room and board. They will live here. They will be citizens with you. They will eat in your restaurants. They will go to your churches. They will do the things that you want when you want to engage with the community, as we do here. I pledge to you this: we will put out the best product, and we will always honor you, the fan. Without fans, we have no team. There's 3 constituencies that I and we need to focus on every day: fans, players, sponsors. Fans, players, sponsors. That's what makes this thing go. At the end of the day, I thank each and every one of you for coming. It means a great deal to us. We won't let you down. And I would leave you with this: if the journey that we are about to embark on is but a short 1,000 miles, let's take the first step together. Thank you.
So you are super excited to have this this take place, and look, here's the thing, right? So obviously there's excitement and there's a lot of the right things being said about this, and I'm very optimistic about the future of this team. I know that this ownership team, I will talk a little bit about them after we get done with the next couple of speeches that went on. These are a little bit shorter, obviously, than this one. The team general or the president wanted to say a few words, and then the general manager is going to say some words, and then the head coach is going to say some words, and we're going to play those to you as well. But again, I mean, they talked a lot about the opportunity for players. They talked a lot about opportunity for the city and for partners. And, we know we've had minor league teams here before. We've had the professional teams come through here. And we know that this community supports our teams, and the Ports have been around forever. And so for those guys, they know the drill, they know how to get their players out in the community. And the Arena Football One is that way as well. They're dedicated to putting on things for the community. They want to get their players out there and seen and be a part of it. So, for the team president to really just acknowledge that we have deep roots in football. They wanted to bring football back to Stockton. And I'll talk about really how they decided to come in and get this too after we're done listening to them talk. But it's just, like I said, it's an exciting time. I can't hide my excitement. Let's listen to more excitement. Greg Pierce, the general manager of the team, as he gave his remarks.
General manager Greg Pierce.
All right, Greg.
Actually, Jason, I've been preparing for 2 years. Well, good morning. I'm Greg Pierce, General Manager of Stockton Crusaders, and thank you all for coming out. It really means a lot. But it's special for me in this sense. I was born and raised in the Central Valley, and having spent most of my life living and working in the Central Valley, this I know to be true. The people in the Valley love football. Well, I'm excited to be part of the executive team and bringing the Stockton Crusaders and Arena Football One to the city of Stockton in the Central Valley. But here's the reality. As passionate and committed as we are as an executive team, we cannot grow the Stockton Crusaders alone. We need you, our fans, to help grow the Stockton Crusaders. We need the community behind us in growing the Stockton Crusaders. It was May 2024 when our founder and head coach walked in my office, shut the door, sat down. He looked at me and he said, "I want to run something by you." I had no idea what he was going to say. And then he asked this question: are you prepared? Are you ready? Do you want to be a part of professional football, helping kids by making a positive impact in the community, and having fun? Well, who's going to say no to that? I share that with you for this reason. From day one of our core principles is this: we want to be involved with community engagement. We want to be involved with our community both in season and out of season. This is why this is important. Is when you look around, we have to ask the question, who's our community? Let's start right here. With everyone who came out to speak, all of you, you're part of our community. So is the city of Stockton, the people here. So are the people living in the Central Valley and other towns and cities. So are our fans, our businesses, and believe it or not, our media. You're part of our community. Why is that important? Because I want to ask you, our community, the same question I was asked. Are you interested in being a part of professional football, making a positive difference in the community, and having a whole lot of fun doing that? If so, I have one favor I want to ask you, and it's this. Take the first step by doing this. Buy a season ticket. Okay. There's many other things we want you to do, and I'm sure our president would love to talk to you about corporate sponsorship, but I'm asking you to buy a season ticket. Here's why. We're putting together 3 things: community, the Stockton Crusaders, and AF1 Arena Football. Why are we doing that? For this reason. When we grow together as one, together we win. Thank you all for coming out. I look forward to meeting many of you. Thank you.
And of course, you can buy season tickets at StocktonCrusaders.com right now. They are out. Of course, he wouldn't be a good general manager if he wasn't trying to get the team to sell some early tickets. But again, you hear the theme, you hear the reoccurring theme throughout this the whole press conference of how excited they were to bring football back to Stockton. And, like I said, this has been a passion project of these guys for a couple of years now. And for them to finally stand on stage and for them to finally be able to officially say to you, the fans of Stockton, that here is your football team, then they're super excited, and their enthusiasm was definitely unmatched the entire time. None more so than the head coach of your Stockton Crusaders. He's Kurt Bryan. I will, again, gush over him later after this, but Kurt Bryan is a very enthusiastic man, and he is the head coach, and he's definitely ready to provide quality football to Stockton. So, and you may ask yourself, why am I playing the entire clips from all of these guys? Because we live in a sound clip world. Right, we live in a world where everybody just tries to grab 10 to 15 seconds worth of what somebody says and put the best of it forward. I want you to hear exactly what they said the entire way through, because no other outlet is giving you the opportunity to hear this if you didn't hear it live already, right? And you should be able to form your own opinions based on what you hear in length, not just me grabbing the best 15 seconds of what these guys said and try to throw it up and make it something presentable to you. You should be hearing everything from them, because this is your team and they are accountable to you, and they know this, right? And so what they say means something. And so you should be able to hear all of it and make your own judgments, whether or not you follow the team, support the team, which I hope you do, because again, for me, I'll get into my background a little bit later, but I like I said, I'm highly encouraged by this. I really feel like this is something great. And again, nothing got me more fired up than to hear Coach Bryan talk about this team and what he expects from it. So we'll hear from him right now.
What a turnout today. This is truly amazing. First of all, thank God. I'm very happy about that. Thanks to my lovely wife. Thanks to everybody involved at the arena, all the politicians and the government officials. Thanks to our executive team, my coaching staff, all the fans. This is a great day for the city of Stockton. Share a little secret with you. A couple of years ago, we looked at bringing a team here when we were running a different team, but that didn't work out. And I'm so glad that didn't happen, because now we have an opportunity here in a top 20 media market to blow the roof off of this thing. That arena is going to be packed with fans. It holds almost 10,000 for an Arena Pro football game. Let's talk about the kids first in the community. The Stockton Crusaders, we put our money where our mouth is. We put our support behind the kids. Right over there, there's about 20 kids wearing Stockton Crusaders jerseys from the All Stockton Flag Football League. Let's give them a big hand for being there. And then what's so interesting, and our team president Scott McKibben talked about it, which is so important, investing in the community. This is not going to be a drive-by team. This is going to be a team that lives here, works here, operates here, and grows here. We have big plans. I know that Jason hinted at something. We'll reveal those big plans down the road, but it's coming. What we need from you on game night is to be loud and proud. For those of you that have not yet visited StocktonCrusaders.com, we call our fans the Crew, C-R-U. It's a little double entendre, play on words. It makes sense. We're going to build a family of fans. And if they do sections, right, the pit crew, the wrecking crew, whatever they're going to call each section, that's great. Let's talk about the players. The most common question that I ever get is, who's playing in your league? And my humble answer is, everybody that's not in the NFL, okay? The NFL only has 32 teams, only so many jobs, but there's an ocean of talent, and they just want one thing, an opportunity. So the other thing that Mr. McKibben mentioned, which is really important, is we go people first, players second, okay? Every player that walks through that door or attends a tryout, he has a life story. We want to change his life for the better. We have programs that develop players for life after football, and the list is long of players who have gone on to careers outside of football, firefighters, etc. It's a really great way to operate a business. The other thing is, in terms of sponsorships, I know that our great front office, they're going to handle all the sponsorships, but I was given permission to talk about one. This one's very near and dear to my heart. We've done it before. It's called Kurt's Corner for Kids. So every home game, there's going to be a section. A sponsor's going to cover the cost of those tickets, 50 to 100 tickets. Those kids are going to get to walk in the arena with their chaperone and have the night of their life. Maybe they'll get a t-shirt, a sticker, whatever it's going to be. But they're going to meet the players. They're going to meet people involved. Best of all, they're going to have a lot of fun. It's not going to cost them a penny. So join us on this journey. It's going to be awesome. Go Crusaders. Thank you.
And there you have it. Coach Brian is, like I said, excited to bring the arena football game into Stockton, back into Stockton, and obviously trying to get involved in the community, trying to get involved with kids who, again, the whole, if you weren't at the press conference, which I'm sure you weren't, and that's why I'm here for you, there was an entire flag football team in attendance, and they all had Crusaders jerseys on, and it was amazing. It was fun to see. There was a lot of coverage there, a lot of excitement, a lot of news stations that were covering this. And, like I said, everybody in Stockton, the mayor was there. She put on the jersey, she put on the helmet. She was ready to rock and roll as well. So you can tell that there's a lot of excitement for football, professional football, to be back in Stockton. And why is it back in Stockton? Well, it was in Stockton for a hot minute, right? We had the Arena Football 2 team, the Stockton Lightning, which coincided with the Stockton Thunder at the time. The Lightning were in the Arena Football 2 league, right? So now this is Arena Football existed as Arena Football. And it was the AFL, and it had the big teams. It had the big John Bon Jovi owned teams. And I think even John Elway owned the team out there in Colorado for a while. So all these celebrities attach themselves to the arena football game. Obviously, it's much smaller. It's 8-on-8, and the players don't have 100 yards. They only have 50 yards to play. So that game was invented. Arena football was existed, and then they tried to branch out to the Arena Football 2 to have more teams and smaller markets play. And we actually got one of those franchises and obviously called it the Lightning. They played in the AF2 from 2006 to 2009. Really didn't get more than 6 wins in a season, so it wasn't very successful in terms of wins and losses. But, I mean, listen, there was a lot of fun to be had at those games. I do remember attending several of those Stockton Lightning games and just loving every second of it. I was at the first one, which was awesome, and got to see the pomp and circumstance of the very first arena football game in Stockton. And unfortunately, the whole league folded. So this wasn't any fault of Stockton. We had the team for 3 years, which, believe me, especially in some of these smaller arena leagues, having a team for 3 years is kind of a big deal, because these teams tend to come and go. There's a lot of teams that are strong and have good ownership teams that keep them around. But unfortunately, sometimes they find it very hard financially to keep afloat because it's not getting the backing from big corporations and gigantic people with deep pockets that can just keep fronting a league without a whole lot of financial return in return. So, yeah, unfortunately, the whole league, the whole AF2 experiment just kind of went under. We lost our team. We didn't have football. So since 2009, we have been without an arena football team, a pro football team, really. We've had a lot of minor league football. We've had a lot of independent football teams come through here, but we've not had an arena football league since then. And, our powerful hockey teams kept us going, and then they went away. So now we're bringing that back. We're bringing hockey back. And we actually did host an arena bowl. So the AFL had their arena bowl, and it was the San Jose SaberCats who ended up coming into town because they were supposed to host it. They had a thing going on with their arena, so they brought it to Stockton, and we hosted Arena Bowl 28. In fact, we hosted that between the it was the SaberCats, and it was the I think it was Jacksonville. I have it right in front of me, and I completely spaced out on it. So, it was the Jacksonville Sharks taking on the San Jose SaberCats, and the SaberCats ended up winning, which was exciting for everybody involved because we got to see the quote-unquote home team end up winning that Arena Bowl. So we've had arena action in Stockton, and it's been at the highest levels, and it's been at the second-tier level, but we are getting it back. And the AF1, I'll tell you about them in a second as we actually introduce you to the AF1 in the next segment. But let's talk about the leadership team a little bit, right? You heard from them, and you heard them talk about bringing it to Stockton. But Scott McKibben, he was part of the initial squad or the initial team that brought the Bay Area Panthers, then the Oakland Panthers. Actually, they started out as Oakland Panthers in 2019. They were going to field the team. They were getting ready to do so, and then they had to put it on hold because COVID actually put them on hold, and they couldn't get the team out because COVID pretty much wiped out the entire season, right? And so they couldn't get out really going. And unfortunately, we didn't ever get to see the Oakland Panthers, but we did get to see shortly thereafter, the Bay Area Panthers of the Indoor Football League, right? And so they actually signed on to bring the Bay Area Panthers with the help of Marshawn Lynch and a couple of other folks that had some help in it too. But the Bay Area Panthers joined the IFL and then promptly went and won the league, right? So these guys came in and won a championship within a couple of years after joining the league. I was lucky enough to be able to attach myself to the Bay Area Panthers too in their first year. I actually went to cover them in the year where they were trying to be Oakland Panthers, but unfortunately, like I said, COVID kind of killed that, and we never got off the ground. But I did relink up with them again as the Bay Area Panthers. Had a fantastic time covering that team. I had a podcast with them as well. The Indoor Cats podcast is actually still out there somewhere if you want to look it up. Indoor Cats podcast. I talked to a lot of these guys, a lot of the players, a lot of the coaches, and was following them around on game day as well. And again, just the type of access that I'm hoping to bring you is matched by that too, because these guys, they really do know how to treat folks that love them and support them. So Scott was one of the key guys that brought that in there. He was actually the CEO of the Rose Bowl for a little bit. He was the BCS National Championship Executive Vice President. So this guy knows ball. This guy knows football. He knows how to bring a product into a town. He's not messing around. He's certainly not doing it. Well, he's doing it for the money, but he's not doing it for the money, right? He's doing it because he genuinely loves football and loves bringing and building football franchises in towns. The general manager, Greg Pierce, you may recognize him from Modesto Christian. He was the athletic director there for 25 years. He's had athletes that have gone to NCAA, NFL, MLB, NBA. So he knows how to build players. He knows how to take them to the next level. And that's important in a league like this where a lot of guys are looking to go into the NFL. And then, of course, the head coach, Kurt Bryan. The man is so welcoming. If you ever get a chance to meet him, which I hope you do, because the AF1 fosters an environment of being able to really get to know the players, the coaches, and everybody involved in the organization. And they are so good at letting you do that. I mean, I know that Stockton fans, we got spoiled with the Thunder being able to just wrap our arms around players and get to know them. Garrett Hunt was a staple in the community, right? Adam Huxley was always big in that. And that's the kind of thing I think you're going to find with the AF1 is these players are ready to meet you and they're ready to interact with you, just like the head coach. Because Kurt, you can call coach, well, not call him, but you can go up to coach at any point and say, hey, coach, man, I'm me. He's probably going to remember you from even you met him 5 years ago, or you met him 5 days ago. He's going to remember you and really just pull you in and have fun with it. But he was also the head coach of those Bay Area Panthers as well before they went on and won the championship. And, again, he's just enthusiastic. He invented a style of offense that was the A11 offense. He was the co-creator and innovator of the A11 offense. And it's one that was used across many, many leagues, across many, many teams. So this man knows how to construct an offense, and in arena football, it's kind of important. Kind of need to have somebody with an offensive mind. So thankfully we have Coach Bryan for that. So honestly, the whole thing that this came about, right? These guys wanted to bring this team here, and you heard Coach talk about it. They were trying to bring a team here a couple of years ago, and they weren't able to do so for various reasons. I mean, there was instability in the AF1 as well, and there was some things that needed to get hammered out before they expanded, and really there was just not a lot going for everybody involved. And the arena, they had to talk to the arena and really reach a good deal for everybody involved. And all of that came together within this last year. And it's been exciting because I know they tried to launch the Stockton Crusaders a couple of years ago, tried to get the buzz going. And I did attend the event that at Garlic Brothers that was trying to get that going. And unfortunately, like I said, a lot of different factors kind of put that on ice, but they kept trying. This is why I am 1000% enthusiastic about this, is because they could have left. They could have walked away. They could have said, you know what, that's fine. Thanks, Stockton. We'll go ahead and try to get another team somewhere else and just moved on, right? If they were just in this to start a team, make a bunch of money, and then blow out, then they went about it the wrong way, because they kept persisting and they kept working at making Stockton the home of the Crusaders. And it was a passion project, which probably got a little defeating at times, right? I mean, you ever try to start something and have a million things go wrong and you're just ready to throw in the towel? A lot of you guys, and myself included, have done that before. And we just walked away and said, all right, well, then it's not for me. But this leadership team didn't. They kept going. They kept pushing. They kept trying to make Stockton a viable place for the football team, for the Crusaders. And they ended up doing it. And honestly, if they're willing to fight that hard to bring the team here, then I'm convinced they're willing to fight that hard to keep the team here. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that aren't going to like this, and you're going to find people all over the place that just hate anything. So I hate it for you, because this is such a fun activity to go to. This is such a fun activity to be a part of. These games, there are high flying and a lot of action that go on in these games, right? And it's a blast to be at. And these leadership teams, they know it, and they wanted to bring it here to Stockton. So 100% behind these guys, 100% behind the team. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a rah-rah fan, which, if you know me at all, and you'll get to know me in a little bit if you don't, I am a rah-rah fan. But I'm also a realist. I'm also a sports personality that has a lot of years behind him, knows, and I've seen some stuff. But this is making me feel hopeful. So I'm here for that. Let's explain the league to you, right? The Arena Football One. What is the Arena Football One? Who is the Arena Football One? Why do I care what Arena Football One is? Well, I talked to you about the AFL, right? The Arena Football League of old that had all those great powerhouse teams. There was a revival of sorts a few years ago where they wanted to bring back the Arena Football League in all of its splendor and all of its history and all of its heritage. And that was fine. I mean, we were all about that. That was a lot of fun to try to be a part of that. I was lucky enough to be a part of that. I did host a show under the Arena Football banner. I hosted the official podcast of the Arena Football League, and I was able to be in on it. But unfortunately, there was a lot of stuff going on. I don't have time. You don't have time to go into all of it. If you really want to know, go look it up. But I will tell you right now, it's not for the faint of heart, but that's okay. Because out of that rose the Arena Football One, because Jeff Fisher, if you know Jeff Fisher, right? Longtime St. Louis Rams head coach, longtime Tennessee Titans head coach. Jeff Fisher of NFL fame got a call and said, hey, listen, we need you to help, right? He was a consultant initially in the AF1 or in the Arena Football League, but they were like, we need you to be the commissioner. We need you to lead the ship. We need your experience to dig this out and to make it something to where we can be proud of. And he did that. He salvaged the rest of the AFL season and then proceeded to rebrand the next year to Arena Football One, right? Sort of distance yourself from what happened before. And so they rebranded as AF1 and brought in the teams that were bought in from the AFL's the AFL's resurgence, and kept those teams and said, all right, let's go. I'm going to put you on our back. We're going to build a new league. We're going to make this a lot of fun, and we're going to make this last. And so they did, and kudos to them, because it has been a lot of fun to watch the Arena Football One League just grow over the last couple of seasons. And it's grown to the fact where now we have 9 teams in AF1, right? Coach had said, or maybe it was Greg that said, that we will be the expansion team, which of course we are. But already in the league, right? The Albany Firebirds, Albany. We're in California. We're going to say it wrong. Just get that right. But the Albany Firebirds, they play out there in New York. They're perennial powerhouses. These guys won the league. They've got the rings. They're pretty much here to stay. They're going to have a lot of fun. And they're pretty much dominating a lot. So we have a lot of competition in Albany if we want to win the championship in year one. The Kentucky Barrels is a new team this year. They just joined the league. The Nashville Cats, they've been in from day one. And if you recognize the name, yes, it is the Nashville Cats organization that used to play in the Arena Football League. It's slightly different, obviously. It's the resurgence of them as well. There was a no-brainer to bring the Cats back. This was, once they said that Nashville was going to get a team, the Cats name, much like with the Stockton Thunder, right? Everybody wanted the Cats because that's what they remembered. Stockton Thunder, same thing. So Nashville Cats. The Beaumont Renegades, they are another expansion team this year as well. Minnesota Monsters, an expansion team this year. Michigan Arsenal, an expansion team this year. Oregon Lightning, one of the OG members. Washington Wolfpack, they play out of Everett. And then the Oceanside Bombers, that will be our natural rival, right? It'll be the California rivalry, Oceanside and Stockton, NorCal, SoCal. But those are the 9 teams, right? And they play round robin. No, they don't play in divisions. It's all everybody's one league. So we'll be joining that family. I do implore you to go check out the AF1.com. That is the website that you'll find all of the the teams on. They play the Arena Bowl. They play the Arena Championship team. It's just, again, it's a lot of fun. This league is got a lot of great players, and Jalen Morton actually was one of the players from one of the teams last year. He's on actually the UFL squad right now, making noise up there. So, like I said, these guys, they make stops everywhere, and you've seen their names probably if you've watched any sort of CFL football or anything like that. They are making their way around, but they are such good players, and they're such good people. I look forward to bringing you interviews with these players, with these coaches, with the people involved in Arena Football 1. I've actually interviewed a lot of them anyways. Like I've been able to interview Jeff Fisher on occasion. I've been able to interview Jerry Kurtz. I've been able to interview these guys that are involved in the upper echelons of the sport. And I guarantee you, everyone to a T loves this game, loves this league, and loves the people that love it back. So we're very much happy about having Arena Football here because, like I said, this leadership team is built for the long haul. They want to make this league someplace where you can be proud to play and proud to watch your team. So absolutely ready for it. So that's the AF1 in a nutshell. You can go, like I said, do a little more research on your own if you'd like. All of the games, a lot like we were hearing earlier, there's a game of the week that's on Vice TV. So that's over the national broadcast. And then everything else is available to watch on their YouTube channel and on all of the other places that they've got. So all the regional broadcasts you can watch. I'm hoping maybe we get a local deal. That would be great to have a local, like a CW type of a situation where they'll show the games locally, because that would be a lot of fun to be able to watch those over the actual on the air TV rather than having to watch it online as well. So maybe that'll happen. I don't know. We'll figure that out, I guess, as we go along, as the team starts to solidify everything. But again, there's big names at the top. There's big people running the ship. There's real people running the ship, and they are really hell-bent on giving Stockton a good product. So we'll have on next week. Actually, I can already tell you because Coach has already said, when are we coming on? When am I coming on? And I said, Coach, I'll get you on next week. So Coach Kurt Bryan will be my guest next week, and we will hammer out everything. You will be able to hear from him firsthand about everything that I've talked about, everything that he wants to talk about, and we'll have a good old powwow. And then eventually, as camp starts to go on, we'll start talking to players. I'll be at the camp. I'll be interviewing people as we go and bringing you news from training camp and from everybody that's out there as well. So lots of great stuff coming on this podcast, but you're probably asking yourself, who the hell is this guy? Some of you already know, and that's fantastic. But others of you don't know who this is. I'm Rod Villagomez. I was born and raised in Stockton. I have been here for the last 20 years now, after a quick break in the Army. I left after high school, went to Lincoln High School, left Lincoln, went to the Army, came back, started a family, and I left the Army because I wanted to do something in sports. I wanted to be part of sports media. I wanted to cover sports. Ultimately, I wanted to be a play-by-play announcer in sports, but I realized that was a very large commitment, and it's hard to start a family when you're on the road as much as play-by-play announcers are. So I decided to make a quick pivot. I went to Delta for a little bit and became part of their broadcasting department. I called Delta games over there and started a radio station over there, KWDC, with a lot of help from I helped. I didn't do it by myself, but I definitely helped build that radio station. And that's still up and running. That's a lot of fun. I worked for KWIN. I've worked for K-Hop. I've done television. I've done movies. I've been involved in a lot of local media. If you've seen me around, you probably have seen me on the ice with the Stockton Thunder and the Stockton Lightning, or the Stockton Heat, rather. Stockton Lightning, on the brain. And I spent 3 seasons as the fun guy for the Stockton Ports as well. So deeply rooted in Stockton sports. I love Stockton sports. And when I say that, I'm not just saying that as, oh yeah, I love Stockton sports. No, I love Stockton sports. I have loved being a part of it for the last 15, 16 years. I've loved just diving into everything from the collegiate athlete to the professional athlete to the independent folks. I mean, we had the Stockton Trojans out here for a little bit. That was just an independent team that was playing football outside in Lincoln Stadium. And I loved covering those guys, the hunger that they had to try to show that they were out there playing football for the love of it. And so I started a sports blog a while back, Stockton Sports Blog. I started my own broadcast company called Valley Sports Network, which I was covering everything from the Stockton Colts to the Stockton Ports to everything in between. So listen, if you are trying to find somebody that loves Stockton sports more than me, you probably know them, but you probably don't. Like I said, I'm such a huge fan of all the teams that decide to come here and take residence in Stockton. And it's so natural for me to want to cover them and to be a part of the action and to bring the action to you as well, because a lot of what these guys are trying to build is a community, right? They're trying to build a fan base. They're trying to build people that are going to come watch these games, that are going to talk about their team long after they're off the field for the week, and keep them in the conversation. And that's what this show is meant to do. This show is meant to keep the conversation going and actually get you more involved in the team itself, because I want you to have fun and to pay attention to who's on the field, to who's playing, to what's going on. What team are we playing this week? Well, who am I supposed to watch when the team gets here? Or what's going to be the special thing that we're going to pay attention to this week? That's what the show's about. That's what I'm about. I do love talking about Stockton sports. So I'm going to bring that fire, that passion to you each and every week as we continue down with the Crusaders Dispatch. I picked the name as a fun little play on, you bring word from the battlefield and it's a dispatch, right? So the messenger brings a dispatch from the battlefield, and that's what I'm bringing to you. I'm bringing the weekly dispatch from the Crusaders battlefield, which just so happens to be the Adventist Health Arena in Stockton. So yeah, we're going to have fun this season. We really are. I mean, come hell or high water, we are going to have fun. We are going to enjoy watching the Stockton Crusaders play football. And I, for one, cannot wait. Like I said, I'm going to give Coach a call, and we'll have him on next week, and we'll talk to him about all things Stockton Crusaders. But I feel like we're well and thoroughly introduced, not just to the leadership team, but to the league and to myself. And that's all I wanted to accomplish in this episode. So hopefully you made it through. And if you did, hit that like and subscribe. You won't hear me say that very often. I'm not somebody who likes to say hit like and subscribe, but I get that's where we're at in this world. But if you would do that a favor, you could definitely like and subscribe over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, obviously the YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at Crusaders Dispatch, and then of course on Twitter at the Crew Dispatch, because they didn't like Crusaders Dispatch. I think it was too long. I don't know. But the Crew Dispatch is what you can find that at on Twitter. I know everybody calls it the X, but I still call it the Twitter. That's just me. But yeah, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this time. Thank you for joining me on episode 1 of this. Looking forward to making the journey with you for the rest of the year. Stay safe. Let's go, Crusaders.